The smirk. I always thought I'd see it coming. Betrayal. But when Allison looked me dead in the eyes and said, I needed a real man, with that cold smirk on her face, I didn't feel rage. I felt nothing. My friends took her side. No hesitation, no questions. Just silence and loyalty to someone who'd already left the relationship long before she said the words aloud. I didn't argue. I grabbed my keys, smiled, and walked out. The next morning, my phone exploded with 32 missed calls. I knew what they were about. It was already unraveling. Looking back, the signs had been there, scattered through the last few months like breadcrumbs I refused to follow. 3 years together breeds blind spots. You assume love will override suspicion. I told myself she was just busy, that the perfume I didn't recognize was a gift from a friend, that the sudden new clothes appearing in the closet had reasonable explanations. But her phone? That was the first red flag I couldn't ignore. Suddenly it was always with her, clutched tight like a lifeline. I'm not the jealous type, never have been, but I couldn't shake the unease. She began pulling away when I tried to hug her while she texted. She took calls outside, claimed they were work-related. Girls' nights with names I'd never heard. I chalked it up to stress, to space, to anything but what it really was. Then one Tuesday, while folding laundry, her phone buzzed. I glanced. A message preview from someone named Jay. Miss you already. Last night was... That's all I saw, but it was enough. I confronted her that night. She was in the kitchen, casually making a smoothie. The blender roared as I stood by the door. When it stopped, I asked, "Who's Jay?" She paused and then smiled. But it wasn't the smile I knew. It was sharp, mocking. "Wondering when you'd finally catch on, Michael," she said, sipping her drink like we were talking about the weather. "Jay's my boss, and yes, I've been sleeping with him for 2 months." I stood there frozen, more stunned by the pride in her voice than the confession itself. "I needed a real man," she continued. "Someone who actually goes after what he wants, not someone wasting his weekends playing video games and watching dumb movies with Jacob." 3 years. That's how little they meant to her. I could have screamed, thrown something, broken down, but I didn't. I asked one question. "Does Chloe know?" Allison chuckled. "Oh, she's known for weeks. So has Jacob. Jay can offer a future, not just childish dreams." I texted both of them right then. "You knew?" Jacob replied, "Bro, don't take it personally. Allison deserves someone more established." Chloe followed. "We didn't want to hurt you. Maybe this is what you needed." Allison watched me closely, waiting for a meltdown, something she could weaponize later. I gave her nothing. I smiled, a real, genuine smile. Then I walked to the bedroom, grabbed my go bag, laptop, and keys. On my way out, I said, "Keep the apartment. I'm sure Jay can help with the rent." She called after me, but I didn't look back. As I drove off, phone still buzzing, I felt something unexpected. Relief. 1 week later, I'd been living out of a motel on the edge of town. It wasn't much, but it was quiet. Pete, the owner, gave me a discount after hearing part of my story. Kind man. When I finally turned my phone back on, there were dozens of messages, most from Allison, some from Jacob and Chloe. But what stunned me was social media. Allison had flipped the script. Her Instagram painted me as an abusive, controlling boyfriend, a manipulator, a narcissist. She claimed I isolated her, emotionally damaged her, even financially abused her, because I asked her to split rent 50-50. Never mind that she earned more than me and insisted on the arrangement. The comments were full of sympathy. People I'd once called friends now applauded her bravery. Then came the kicker. An email went around my workplace, vaguely referencing recent concerns and reinforcing the company's zero-tolerance harassment policy. I wasn't named, but it was obvious. I wasn't angry. I was curious. Just how far would she take this? The turn while grabbing clothes from storage, I bumped into Juliana, Allison's best friend. She looked terrified and guilty. "Be careful," she whispered. "Jay's wife. She's powerful. Allison's been spinning this story to her, telling everyone you're unstable. Dangerous." "Why are you telling me this?" I asked. She hesitated. "Because this isn't the first time. There was another guy, same pattern. Jay and Allison destroyed him. He left town. That night I did some digging. Found the guy, Mark. His digital presence went dark the same month Allison started her job. Vanished. The next day my landlord called. Allison had tried to remove me from the lease, said I'd abandoned the property, even claimed I'd threatened her. Fortunately, he didn't buy it. Then came a message from a new Instagram account. A woman in her 40s, elegant, composed. The message read, "We need to talk about my husband and your girlfriend. Mrs. J." We met for coffee. She wasn't surprised. Turns out she'd been quietly collecting evidence for years. Jay's affairs, the pattern of manipulation, including Allison's involvement, emails, texts, surveillance footage. But she needed something public to finally bring it all down. She needed witnesses. The party. The company's annual party was her plan. She insisted I attend. Sometimes the best revenge is just letting people reveal themselves, she said. I walked in late, dressed sharp. The room froze. Allison's face drained. Jay turned ghost white. Chloe stumbled toward me, clearly tipsy, and slurred, "You've got nerve showing up after what you did to her." I just smiled. What I did? Tell me more. Then Gemma, my coworker, stepped up. I think it's time people heard the truth. She had screenshots, audio recordings, chat logs of Allison bragging about manipulating everyone, including Jay. Mrs. J entered at the perfect moment. Projector lights flicked on. The slideshow began. Every lie exposed, every scheme laid bare. Allison broke. She screamed, accused us all of conspiring against her, declared Jay loved her and that they'd build a life together. Mrs. J calmly handed her a document, divorce papers. The fallout, Jay and Allison were forced to resign within 48 hours, but the damage didn't stop there. Mrs. J handed over a trove of financial documents to the board, falsified expenses, harassment evidence, tampered reviews. Mark came back with receipts. He filed a lawsuit. Then other employees stepped forward. It wasn't one scandal anymore. It was a reckoning. Allison tried to control the damage, posted another tearful video, claimed she'd been manipulated. Then Juliana released the chats, private messages where Allison mocked her victims and bragged about her lies. The end last week, Allison showed up at the motel. Pete called me. That girl you mentioned? She's in the parking lot causing a scene. I arrived to find her sitting on my car, mascara streaked, holding an envelope. I have dirt on everyone. If you don't help me, I'll release it all. I laughed. Go ahead. Burn every bridge you've got left. She hurled the envelope at me. I photographed every page, handed it back and said, "Look at where your last scheme got you." She ripped it up in front of me, screaming. Final thoughts. Now I'm at peace. My phone's full of apologies. Chloe, Jacob, even Mark. Sometimes karma doesn't need a push, just an audience. And sometimes walking away isn't giving up. It's choosing yourself. The real man, he doesn't smirk, he rises.